As to why these zones were like this, unfortunately, the reason tends to fall around people not wanting certain things in their neighborhood. The stated reasons, if you pull the ordinances from the 60s and 70s when these things started to pop up, were I don't like traffic, I don't like the hazards, I don't like the this, I don't like the that, it's going to bring in too many people. The types of applications these were typically used against were Blacks, Orthodox Jews, Muslims. For some reason, other types of organizations did not seem to have the problems that others did. And it's worth noting from a historical perspective that the reason this zoning is the way it is comes from a history of redlining that is as applicable today as it was back then and needs to be rooted out hand in fist. The ordinance for 1979 contains a letter in it objecting to houses of worship on substandard lots written by the person that lived in the same house as Susan. Things do not change, and they need to. So I want the public, the planning board, the council, and everyone else to be aware that certain behaviors, if they are about traffic, perfectly fine. If it's about sanitation, perfectly fine. Capacity, perfectly fine. Fire, perfectly fine. But if the issue is that you don't like certain uses near you, you know what? That's not fine anymore. And it's going to be done away with one way or another for as long as I am on council. And
Stephen Fischler.
Okay.
All right, Stephen, you have 3 minutes. Go ahead.
You want me to continue?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to say, I wasn't going to raise my hand, but I think I really take offense at Mr. Kaplan's implication that the community objections to this AUC thing is based on racial discrimination or racism. I think that's incredibly insulting. And I think that the members of the community, I live on Hillside Avenue, so I am one of the neighbors affected. I do think that the use is definitely relevant. The idea that there's going to be a private health club and swimming pool in the neighborhood that is not open to the community, that's only open to paying customers, is not in keeping with the residential neighborhood that we live in. Thank you.
I'm reopening good and welfare just for Kevin Barksdale for 3 minutes. Nobody else tried, and I am not going to open if anybody else.
Okay, thank you. Well, first thing I like to say that I'm insulted by, I think, Mr. Kaplan when he was saying about the past restricted comment against Blacks, Orthodox, and everybody else that Teaneck has. The situation which we have on 50 Oakdene Avenue doesn't have anything to do with religion, color, race, or anything. If a school, a mosque, a temple, a church, a daycare, anything that's going to be open, we, the people of 50 Oakdene, the people of Hillside, Teaneck, and everything else, the Oakdene Avenue, we support it. But what we do not want is a rec center that's going to have a full basketball court with lights. A rec center that's going to be open 7 days a week from 9 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock at night, as far as with the lights, and then the swimming pool, they have buses coming backwards and forwards as far as they have full skills. I'm pretty sure that there's not one of you on either one of the committee will want that as far as in your right next to you. If you want church or school, please come on. We welcome you and we love it, but not a rec center and not an outdoor rec center with all of that. And I just hope that, Mr. Kaplan, as far as to configurate both situations, as far as to compare the roller center, which is not in a residential area, to what we have over here on Oakdene Avenue, I guess they think that that's very disingenuous, and I would hope that the people on the board recognize the concern that we have, and please do not consider anything as far as race and everything else. That's such a, I think red herring that they will call it, and it's not at all. Thank you very much.